Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those, why can't I speak? For those of you that don't know, I am Carla. I am a certified health coach. I'm 30 years old and I am pregnant. I'm now 20 weeks pregnant with my first child. So I'm trying to post a little bit more on my YouTube now, instead of just shorts. So I thought I would do a little video today. Basically, I uploaded a short which was guessing the gender of my baby through old wives' tales. Thought I'd go into them in a little bit more depth. Does that make sense? And see if they guess them correctly. It's just a little bit of fun, but I think why not? So I'll try and go for the ones that I can remember. I should have written that down. Maybe hold on a sec, I'll write them down now. Okay, so the first one that people tend to, and apparently the science behind it is, there's a little bit of science behind this one. I think the rest, not so much, but apparently higher rates of morning sickness are linked to having a girl. I've seen other people have it the other way around, and yeah. So I didn't have any morning sickness. I know I like to keep saying this all the time. Yes, lucky me. But I have my other problems now. Going by old wives' tales, that would mean I was having a boy. Okay, right. Carrying high or low. It says low for a boy and high for a girl. The thing is, I found out the gender at 16 weeks. So that's quite early. Yeah, 16 weeks is quite early, and I think all bumps start off quite low. So I did actually put low at the time because my bump was low, but I would argue now it's gone a lot higher. So I would actually say now it's high. So, updated. So I'm gonna put girl for that one. I can't remember if I've actually even said the gender. I did in my first trimester video. So, watch that if you want to, but I'll say it at the end of the video anyway. Craving sweet or salty. So they say that if you're craving sweet things, you're more likely to have a girl. And if you're craving salty, soury type things, then you're more likely to have a boy. Again, don't really know the science behind this. I just argue that maybe girls are sweeter. I don't know. I did actually speak to some of my friends, and they did say that was true. So when they were carrying girls, they craved more sweet things and salty with boys. Then I asked my mum, and it worked with my brother and sister, but for me, she just craved curry. So I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's more savoury. Depends on what curry she's having, really. Anyway, I have been craving fruit and chocolate. Chocolate. It's getting out of hand. This bump is all chocolate, I swear. So that would be girl. The next thing I've got written down is mood. So apparently if you're more moody, it's a girl, and if you're more calm, it's a boy, which I kind of do understand, but then I kind of don't, because I just, men. Testosterone. Don't know if there's any science behind any of these, probably not. I really thought that I would be a lot more moody than I was, just because of my personality type. I don't know if that's because I had a pretty easy first trimester, so there wasn't much for me to be moody about. I would say now it's getting harder in my second trimester. I'm a little bit more moody, but actually, I would definitely say I was more moody before I was pregnant. And I've asked my boyfriend too. He says that I've been quite chilled. To be honest though, I don't know if that's just because he's been a little angel, and you can't argue with a pregnant woman. He's learnt this. So I think he's in like, you know, happy wife, happy life kind of state at the moment. And he's been really, really good and just, you know, doing everything and being lovely and all of that. So maybe that's why I haven't been moody. I do still cry a lot, but not a lot. How do I put it? Like, I tear up a lot, but I never... Oh, getting really into this. I'm throwing pens everywhere. Yeah, I tear up a lot, but I don't actually like full on cry. But then I've had nothing really to cry over. A little bit more emotional now, but yeah, I would still say, you know, pretty calm. So that points towards a boy. Skin. Oh, for goodness sake. So apparently if your skin gets worse and you break out on your face, then you are more likely to be having a girl. And if your skin is clear, then you're having a boy. And on top of that, I'll add, people say if you feel kind of less attractive, and have less of that kind of pregnancy glow, then you are carrying a girl. Again, don't know. I, especially during the first trimester, was getting a lot of spots, which is unlike me, and I definitely don't feel my most attractive, and I definitely don't feel like I've got the pregnancy glow I've been waiting for. My skin has definitely improved now because of a few things that I've been doing and using. Not feeling the best self. I've got to put some makeup on to feel good. And I tell you, I cannot wait to start doing my micro needling again. Anyway, so that would point towards girl. We're looking fairly even so far. Girl is just in front. So next one is the Chinese calendar. So this you can just do online, and it's like the age you were when you conceived, and then the month as well. But what I didn't realise is, because when you first look at it, it says boy for me, but then apparently you need to use your lunar age and the lunar year, so I just converted that online. I don't know, I wouldn't know it off by heart. So it came back girl. So Chinese calendar actually said girl. I mean, some people actually swear by the Chinese calendar, which for me doesn't really make sense, because it's 50-50. Do you know what I mean? It's how can you predict that? Personally, I think that one is a bit of luck, but I think when you don't know the gender, you will hold on to that. My Chinese calendar said girl. Next one is headaches. I saw so many different ways around this. A lot of them, a majority of the ones I saw said if you get headaches, it's a boy, and if you don't get headaches, it's a girl, which for me kind of didn't make sense, being the added hormones of a girl, but I don't know. And when I did do this, I was going through some really bad headaches, but that was the week I was ill, and I had like a sinus infection, and I didn't really clock that it was only linked. So as soon as that went away, I didn't have any headaches, and I haven't had any abnormal headaches or any headaches before then or after then. So I'm actually going to change my answer to that and say no, because I think they were linked to the sinus infection that I had. So that would point towards girl. And then the last one I did was mother's intuition. And this is a really weird one, because your heart and your head say two different things, and you're kind of constantly talking yourself into one or the other. So I put boy down, but I really didn't know. And I would argue that my head said boy and my heart said girl. When I first found out I was pregnant, I was convinced it was a boy, because I've always imagined having a boy, and everyone's always kind of said, oh, I can imagine you being a boy, mum. And I think I just kind of went with that. I always said, for a star sign. Not this, like, yeah, I didn't plan it this way, but I always said I wanted a Cancer star sign son. I think because my brother is a Cancer and I get on really well with him, so it's kind of like the only sign I knew, boy sign that I knew very well. Anyway, I really thought for a couple of weeks that it was going to be a boy, and that's what I really wanted at that time. And then I don't know why, something switched. And then I was like, oh, I really want a girl. And I think it might be a girl. And then I was like, oh, but I think it's a boy. Oh, and then you get to a point where honestly, I mean, the whole time you genuinely do not mind what you have. Like I would have been so happy with either. I think little boys are so cute. I think as a woman, it's probably harder to raise a boy as they get older because you can't relate to them. So that was my only kind of slight preference in that sense. As I said, I would have been so happy with either as long as they were healthy. So I put boy. Every time I went to a scan before I found out, I'd go in being like, I'm looking for a penis. I'm pretty sure it's a boy. I think mainly because of the not having morning sickness, I think that's what could convince me. And my boyfriend was very much like, I'm pretty sure it's a boy too. But every scan that I went to before I found out, and I'd look on the screen, I don't know why, I'd just look and be like, I just think that's a girl. Like I'm convinced. Like I just felt this like feeling. And then when I'd come out of the scan, I'd be like, no, it's a boy. I don't know if that was because I was maybe 1% more wanting a girl, that I was kind of talking myself into it, but then I wouldn't have cared. I don't know. Anyway, for that one I put boy, but I guess if I'm being real with myself, if your heart is saying something, I would argue that's more your intuition than your brain. Do you know what I mean? So again, I'm going to change my answer. I feel bad. I've changed all my answers. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8, 2 are boy and 6 are girl. And I'm having a girl. So I would argue that some of these old wives' tales are true. Speaking of the devil, she just gave me a little kick when I said that. I'm getting to that point now where I can feel the kicks a lot more. Oh, I love it. I think she's telling me she's hungry. I'm a bit hungry, so I'm gonna make some food after this. Another one that I forgot to mention that I didn't actually put in the video either is if your leg hair, well, I guess body hair in general, but I think you'd notice it more with your legs, or actually and on your stomach. If you're noticeably, not like when you're like not consciously thinking about it, but if you're noticing that your body hair is growing thicker or quicker or more, then that's another sign that it's a boy. I was waiting for this because I saw loads of people talking about it and it didn't happen, so another point for girl, I guess. Yeah, I am having a girl and I was very excited for it. A little summer girl. Absolutely mad, still can't think about it. So if anyone has any ideas on some names, that would be great because we cannot agree. We've got 2 names, well, we've got 3 names actually. One has been a name I picked out when I was literally 14 years old, and it's the only, like, I change my mind on everything quite a lot. Like I'm not a very decisive person. I can't really have favourites on things because it changes. So the fact that I still love this name 16 years on, that means something, right? And I've always that has just been my daughter's name. I don't even want to say it in the internet because it's not a popular name at all. I've only ever seen one other person name their child it, and it was a boy. But my boyfriend doesn't like the name. I kind of get it, but the names he's suggesting, they're of similar uniqueness, but for some reason he doesn't like my favourite name, so I'm still trying to push for it. You never know. might have to be another child name. We've got 2 other names which we might use. I really do like them, but I don't love them how I love the other name. So either in the comments below, give me some suggestions of like unique names. I like names that like make her sound like a little fairy. That's the only way I know how to describe it. Just like a cute little fairy, but also it can be used as an adult, but I want it to be unique. I want her to be the only one in the class with that name. Or alternatively, help me think of arguments against me so I can use the name that I actually want. I've tried, trust me. I've even made ChatGPT write me like a whole paragraph of reasons why that I should use that name. Yeah, it's not going down well. I'm getting stressed out, honestly. I think that's about it. I'm going to go make myself some toast and head out for a walk now before it gets dark. I don't even know what the time is now. I've just been rambling away as usual, and hopefully I actually press record because I have a scary feeling that I've not been in focus, or I don't know. I will be back I'm trying to upload to the channel once a week at the moment, so I will be back soon with another video. Don't know what, but we'll see. Anyway, have a lovely day and let me know if any of these old wives' tales will work for you, because I'd like to know if it was just a fluke or if there's actually some truth in it. Anyway, have a lovely day and I'll be back soon. Bye.